Hey everybody, I decided to do this video because you guys have been liking my daily informative content uploads, and I decided that it could be I found an interesting way, or at least an interesting idea, on how I could go through these patch previews and give you guys some actual content. I dislike making videos that are just throwaways, that are just videos made for the sake of doing an upload. I've never liked doing that. You guys know I upload when I have a reason to upload, not just to upload. So what I'm going to do here, and I think this is actually going to make this sort of video an interesting and unique take on some of these things, is we're going to go over why a champion is being buffed and why a champion is being nerfed. I have a lot of looking at the patch notes through doing my patch notes videos, and I typically stare at win rates a lot, so I have a pretty good insight into what's going on here. I also know how Reddit thinks a lot, so what I can do here is give you guys some information on why a champion is being buffed or why a champion is being nerfed. In other words, you might come out of this video still hating that they're nerfing Mundo, but at the very least you'll be able to understand why they're nerfing Mundo. So make sure to watch to the end of this video, because I'll do my best to make sure you understand why everything is happening. If this is a good series, we'll continue to do more videos like these. Before we get into this, everyone make sure to like the video, everyone make sure to subscribe to the channel, and leave a comment based on your feedback on the video or just on things I've said. These things help me immensely, support the videos, and I thank you in advance if you would do that for me. So I've decided to we're gonna categorize these at least a little bit. The first up is Aatrox, Illaoi, and Sett. Now Aatrox, Illaoi, and Sett have been buffed a lot. All three of them get a lot of buffs. That's because Riot continuously nerfs all their items. Now I'll just go through all three of them. We can see Aatrox got buffed last season, a second buff last season, buffed this season, stats shifted, and now he's going to get buffed again. So he's been buffed twice per season for the last 2 seasons. Illaoi, likewise, Illaoi has been buffed this season, buffed again this season, buffed last season, and then we have Sett, and here, let me go bring up Sett real quick. People probably don't even remember this, but Sett got buffed last season pretty hard after he got nerfed pretty hard in season 10. So Sett's getting a second buff, 1 per season. Illaoi and Aatrox are both looking at 2 buffs per season now, and that is because they keep nerfing their items. Sett can only go Gore Drinker and Styrex and Titanic, and with those items being nerfed by Riot, he's not doing as good. We can see here even at all ranks. Now remember, all ranks is because there's far significantly more lower rank games. All ranks tends to be the stats of just silver and gold, because for every 100 silver games there's 1 masters game. So the masters games are totally drowned out by the silver and gold games. So across the lower ranks, Sett is not even going positive, which is bad. Likewise, at the lower ranks, we can see if I can find them here. Aatrox is at 47, Illaoi is at 48. None of these champions are doing good, and all these champions got hit hard by Riot's itemization change. Now you might probably be asking, oh well, what about Darius then? Darius got hit a little bit. Darius is still doing pretty okay at the plat range. Now Darius has always been more of a mid to high range champion, not actually a low range champion. He's hated in the low ranks, but he's actually not the best at the low ranks. He's actually more at the mid to high range. However, when you look at this range, Sett is down to 48%, Aatrox is down to 48%, and Illaoi I might not even be able to find down here at 46%. Likewise, this pretty much goes into masters. I'm not going to bother to show you that. So these 2 champions, they keep getting buffed because their items keep getting nerfed, and this is just a continuing saga of Aatrox, Illaoi, and Sett getting buffed because their items keep getting smashed. Amumu got a change because of Zeri, where Zeri's shot, her gunshot thing, that's the new champion by the way, the new champion, she shoots 5 bullets with her ability auto attack thing. The issue is Amumu reduced it 5 times, so it did 0 damage to him. So Riot put a change where Amumu's damage reduction from his tantrum, that reduces damage by a flat amount, by the way. The flat damage reduction from that can only reduce it to 50% of the damage instance. Then they also hit his armor per level for some fucking reason. The problem is Amumu doesn't have any healing, so the flat damage reduction from his tantrum was how he jungled. By the small wolves, by the raptors, by the small krugs, all of them wouldn't deal damage to him, so that he could keep at least moderately healthy as he continued to jungle. Well, by removing his armor per level, and, well, I should say nerfing his armor per level, and making it harder for him to jungle, they just sort of nerfed the champion pretty hard just because he had a bad interaction with Zeri. As for Ashe, Lucian, Callista, and Xayah, I brought up Ashe here to show you guys that she has an 18-second cooldown on her volley. 18? That's pretty long, and so when we go look at bot lane, we can see, like what happens typically, the top 3 champions are eating all the pick rate, and anyone not in the top 5 is basically not being picked. You can see there's some gems like Caitlyn and Veigar are still out there, but you can see there's like a stark drop after the top 5, then after the top 7. So I think what Riot's trying to do, particularly after the Wit's End and these shield blow nerfs, Ashe and Xayah, and who's the other one? Callista, and who's the last one? Lucian. Yeah, Lucian. They're trying to bring these champions up a little bit. Now, Lucian, they did a little bit of a change to him. Actually, I'm not going to show it, but for Lucian, they changed him a little bit. I think it was last season where or maybe, yeah, I think it was last season. They changed him where they tried to like get him out of the solo lanes, and they did some changes to try to bring him to bot lane. And he's never really been that good in bot lane since that change, but now he also can't solo lane. He was doing kind of good for a bit, and then he fell off a cliff, so that happened. Ashe, likewise, again, she's just very low pick rate because she can't really be picked anymore. With an 18-second cooldown on volley, a lot of champions can abuse the shit out of her. For Callista, she is turbo cancer and should hopefully never actually be viable, but for now she's basically unplayable and no one wants to play her, which is good. That champion sucks. I hate her. Die. And Xayah had an OP lethality build, and they nerfed her pretty hard because of that build, and now she's just sort of down here, not really doing anything at all, actually. Little spoilers for Amumu nerfs. For Rumble, do I have Rumble? Yes, we do have Rumble up here. So Rumble, they did a rework where they added attack speed to his passive, then they added % health damage to his passive, then they added magic pen to his E. The problem here is that basically removed all Rumble's weaknesses, that he couldn't kill high health targets or tanky targets with magic resist. Well, when he removed literally the only things he couldn't kill, it made him broken. So they nerfed his passive, then they nerfed his shield, then they nerfed his passive, and now he's not doing exactly great. So they're trying to bring him back up. Personal opinion, maybe they shouldn't have done that change. He was 50% win rate and he was perfectly fine and viable. He just had some counter play and the ability to build tanky. As for Nami, they did a change recently where they gave her passive a bit of a shift. It now gives more movement speed at first, but then it decays, and then they nerfed the damage on her E. She was a little bit overpowered and now she's a little bit underpowered. Nami has a pretty decently large-sized community, and for a lot of these champions, you're going to notice the same thing. These champions that are played a lot, that are popular, Riot gives them more attention. When Nami's a little bit underpowered, her community tends to get rowdy, angry, and much like Aatrox and Sett, she's decently up there in popularity, so when Nami's a little bit underpowered, they would prefer she not be a little bit underpowered. So they're bringing her back up. Is it like super important? I mean, here's Plat Plus, she's at 49%. Here's all ranks, she's at 50%. It's not like super important she gets buffed. That's just what's going on. The fish people rule Riot and have decided that Nami needs to be buffed, and it's not even that big of a buff. I'm just telling you why. So for Zeri, okay, Zeri is she's extraordinarily overpowered. Her best item isn't even up to a 90% pick rate yet, so her win rate will continue to go up, and people will continue to get good at her, which will make her win rate continue to go up. She is disturbingly overpowered. In fact, even if I look at all ranks, she already has a 50% win rate. This is supposed to be a difficult champion. At Plat Plus, she's at 52%, and at Masters Plus, she's already up to 53%. And remember, this is a champion who can continue as more people learn to play her and more people actually build the good items. She's gonna get stronger and stronger as time goes on. So Zeri is nowhere to go but up. So she's going to get another large nerf to try to stop her from being that broken. Now for Mundo, this one's easy to explain. They nerfed Divine Sunderer, and early in the season they still did buff tank items. They nerfed them down a little bit, but overall tank items are still stronger. Mundo is literally the highest win rate in top lane at all ranks. Now, whether or not you think this is an issue compared to Garen carries that win rate much higher. Mundo, even once you reach Plat Plus, starts to fall off a little bit, not so much in win rate, but in pick rate he definitely starts falling off. I think I might have made a mistake by making a video teaching people how to play Mundo. At any rate, Riot doesn't really like him being that strong. He has a little bit of an issue where he's too good at the low ranks. Not even by that much, he's just a little bit too good. I personally disagree with this nerf. I think Mundo's fine. But Riot wants to nerf him, and it's just he's just too good at the low ranks. They should contemplate adding something where he has a little bit more skill expression. Maybe his W should be more important, particularly because his W just gets healing debuffs, so a lot of people practically don't even bother with it. So that's just, Mundo's just too good at the low ranks. For Kiana, I'll just be real quick with this one. Kiana is monstrously overpowered at the high ranks, and a lot of that is coming down to the fact that she now has items like Death's Dance. I mean, yeah, she has items like Death's Dance, she has items like Maw, and she was already overpowered, but now the versatility and being able to pick those items has pushed her pretty hard. That should have been obvious to anyone paying attention at Riot. Anyone paying attention at Riot should have been able to say, oh, yeah, that's pretty obvious that making AD Assassins able to build these items will make them overpowered, but Riot didn't pick up on it. And we can see, actually, can we see? I'm not going to go into other champions for now. So that's what's going on with Kiana. Now for Veigar, I just want to say for one thing, Kiana's been overpowered for a long time. So I think her entire patch history, let me go look that up. I think her entire patch history has been nerfs. You can see her last patch, she got nerfed. In 11.22 she got nerfed, in 11.19 she got nerfed, in 11.18 she got nerfed, in 11.11 she got, you guessed it, nerfed. In 11.5 she actually got buffed, and then she got nerfed in 11. This is a buff? No, she got buffed, and so they've been buffing and nerfing her, but lately all they're doing is nerfing her. She's been overpowered for quite some time, so she's been due for a nerf for a while. It's just, I think these 80 item changes pushed her a bit over the top. For Veigar, now, Veigar got a change to his Q. Now, when Veigar kills minions with his Q, he gets more stacks. They reduced the cooldown on it so he can Q more and get more stacks, which also allows him to do more damage in team fights and to fight people better because he can shoot more Qs out. But he can get more stacks, and then they increase the amount of stacks he gets from cannons. So he can get more stacks, and he can get more stacks, and he fights better. Well, in the lane where you can farm a lot, this had the negative side of making him quite overpowered. And you can see Veigar is extraordinarily good bot lane in Masters. At D2+, he has the second highest win rate, only because Swain managed to RNG more wins. At D+, when we start getting more games, you can see he's literally the highest. At Plat+, he's literally the highest. At all ranks, he is still literally the highest, and by a good long stretch. Veigar bot is extraordinarily broken right now. He's actually insanely overpowered. It's kind of weird that more people aren't talking about it because he's really broken. Now, once we go into support, we can see Blitzcrank is being nerfed. I'm gonna be honest, I tried to look into this. I don't really, you guys will have to give me your opinion on this one. I don't know why he just randomly shot into being turbo broken as shit. His items haven't received that much of a change, and I don't think he's really been patched recently. I mean, 11.15 he got buffed. It's been a long time since 11.15 when he got this damage buff and this armor buff, and his win rate just started to go up and up and up and up and up and up and up. And at the low ranks, he's very overpowered. At Platinum, he's less picked, but still overpowered. At D2+, we can see still less picked, but still very overpowered. At Masters Plus, less picked, but still overpowered. He's just overpowered everywhere. So, yeah, those buffs, I guess it took a little bit of time. That's all I can think of. I think it probably took a little bit of time for those buffs to take effect, but it's just been very broken. For Nunu and William. That's Nunu and William, by the way. Not William. For Nunu and William, he is just too... at the higher ranks, he's not that... He's pretty balanced at Masters Plus. But even once we go down to platinum, he's at a 53% win rate. At all ranks, he's up here at 52. Now, I don't think his win rate has really gone up or down that much. I think it went up a little, probably due to the Divine Sunderer nerfs. I guess this was just sort of the straw that broke the camel's back, or maybe Riot is finally learning that they should do something about it. Unlike Trundle, who falls off pretty hard into the higher ranks, Nunu remains viable into the higher ranks. And for a champion who's very overpowered at the low ranks, very overpowered at the mid to high ranks, and then still pickable at the high ranks, I guess Nunu's just finally at a position where they want to nerf him. Now, Master Yi, he's a champion I don't actually understand. So if we stick her in all ranks, we can see Master Yi has a 52% win rate, high pick rate at all ranks. I think everyone would agree he's a bit overpowered at the lower ranks, but the issue I have is his win rate hasn't really moved in a while, and even once you get to platinum, he falls down to a 50% win rate, and then once you get to diamond 2, he's down to a 48%. I don't think that's really moved in a while. I guess this is just Riot, probably due to Death Dance again. I think Riot vastly underestimated how good Death Dance and Maw were gonna be for champions like that. Those items probably pushed him a bit over the top, and Riot's just nerfing him a little bit. That's really all I can think of. For this support item solo lane, that's enchanters, so the shielder champions, the Janna, Soraka, those type of champions. They've been going into solo lane right now and using the support item, and they use the support item, and because the support item doesn't count for objective bounties, you can generate gold with it, but then avoid contributing to the objective bounty, which means that your team will get an objective bounty. Is that why they're overpowered right now? Maybe, I don't know. At either rate, Riot is deciding that they're going to nerf support items in the solo lane. So it's, to be blunt, that they're not nerfing support tanks in those lanes. No, they're nerfing support enchanters in the mid and top, particularly, or at the very least, seemingly trying to target their, their item, their support gold shit. So that's what's going on in this patch. That's why everyone's being buffed and nerfed. I hope you guys understand now. Again, even if you don't like that a champion is being buffed or nerfed, even if you don't agree that a champion is being buffed or nerfed, this is why they're being buffed and nerfed. So I hope that was at least a little bit helpful for you. In the meantime, thank you all for watching. Thank you all for subscribing. Thank you all for supporting the channel. A special thank you to my Patreon supporters who continue to support this channel and make things viable. If you want to join my Patreon, the link is in the description, and I would very much appreciate it. For as little as $3, you can support me immensely. So thank you, everybody, and I hope everybody has a great rest of your day. Bye-bye.